That's from the Lord of the Rings. So the elves would also go to war, not just the dwarfs. And the hobbits are absence of might. This is why they can carry the ring. What is might is what a character as Galadriel has. The might of the gods of Greece, which Jesus doesn't have. He might have bravery and courage and self-sacrifice, knowing he's going to be mistreated in the temple of the Jews, even though the Jews later supported the followers of Jesus. It's a good business, isn't it? We have all sorts of groups around the world. It's good to read the Republic from Plato, where he designed for all countries and nations to have their national anthem, to a group people, what they define themselves for. And so all psychology, right? The build civilization. Now we're trying to break that structure and respecting what's been built on, but what I mean is break through onto other sorts of games. Where football is always going to be praised as the Coliseum. More and more as you move into the future, people are going to be investing their games in virtual reality and becoming better for themselves instead of putting energy to another person's game. Which of course is beautiful for yourself, to be praised as a player, as a consequence of all these players as well, and the reasons through history to fight, becoming stronger against. You can read that through history and role play yourself. As many role players do exist. Most of role players are from the United States, let's be honest. But one of the best, if not the best, is from Venezuela, from Argentinian and Spanish background. But that does not define me as one of the best role players, if not the best. I am the worst writing because I have dyslexia, but my mind goes so fast in my imagination that I don't pay attention. Some words are being spelled, some letters are being spelled before the other, but it's faster than what words can catch. So you're beyond reason. I've never told my secrets to my friends, to no one, because I knew very well that they will use it against me. I knew very well no one had my class. It doesn't matter. They could have been from Argentina, they could have been from Venezuela or Spain, but none of them has nor had my class. They had shared a glimpse, because we all have that inheritance of heaven where we come from. We might have forgotten where we came from, what we used to play. That's the origin of all our games. So just question yourself why somebody would be on the first terrace because they are the higher class. The patricians will have next to you because they invest on you everything they have in the war those times. The second class will sit on other benches, and the lowest class atop above. There was room for everyone. So the civilization, and including Dante's Inferno, has put people on terraces and rings on levels. What happens if you have other architectures and other structural forms of moving at the same time? Totally different from what you think to be. So, you know, I'll go to school in Spain and always we never talk about when Argentina had win because I was in Spain, yeah. So nobody in my family told me to be anything or do anything. I just watch them enjoy the game with all the Argentinians. The adults have a brutal energy. I mean, I would love to enjoy myself, just watching a game as I used to. It takes a lot to become another part of a characteristic and being, knowing very well you don't have that cover, that structural cover to be accepted as one. I go to work and I'm not British, so any person that's British will put me against me, unite the British while stealing and gossiping and mistreating everyone because it wants to be the manager to steal everything and just pass by gaslighting because it's British or German. Those are trolls from Sauron, remember? So role playing in virtual reality is very beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. We do have background filled. There was times of loyalty where we appreciate all the groups, and we would just stand by the screen and look at each other's groups, the formation of our structural analysis what brought us to see all the groups we had created. And we were laughing so much about all our disasters and wars and we were just laughing nonstop. I would just be beating the table of how much fun because we were just back and forth and laughter. We had crazy stories, of course, wars of hackers, conspiracies, plots. We had a lot of plots among each other and with each other. Jokes too, and fights. And The betrayals were most fun to unveil and just ridiculize what people do to gain power, popularity, and more friends, right? So it's just fun to watch the human, um, when you're playing sport, it's totally different. You have a training with your mind and body. There are also other powers at play. I do believe in God, and I believe there are powers one cannot control. As I just grew up watching, yeah, and everybody shouting after my mother because they were afraid of her own shouts. So, and then they just turn it into cheering. Because a shout of being afraid of that shout, so it would just get all contagious into non-caring what other people think from your shouts. And I love watching the Real Madrid as well, as my class love the Real Madrid from Madrid. I got to understand more my father. They're just running after a ball. It's too much money and publicity being placed on something that's obsolete for society. There are better games to be played and invest on that can enhance humanity as such. He did not have really the answers, but he did have the diplomacy to talk about it. Is he on his own right? That was his goal. But his answer was transparency, freedom of expression, because he supported the arts as well. The arts were a platform for people to talk about the actual problems from another standby position, because he considered himself an artist. He didn't want to be remembered as a journalist of politics or in the scene of politics. As he wrote discourse for presidents of Venezuela and would take them off to put another. They all think to have that power when they get there and they forget. Some background music. So the synonymous of structure are is watched here. Can you see? Let's go there. Structure that splits with arrangement above. So above has meaning than below. Arrange and before arrange, the lower is building. All right. So let's say the higher will arrange and build. So okay, we build up the muscle. We need all these synonymous to understand the wall of the synonymous. Yeah, where are we going? When we pick a word, we pick an action as well. So above from all is fabric. The fabric. I had learned that from when I was before 13 years old, so I might be 11 or 12. And I remember sitting in the couch of the street of Araquil in Aravaca, Madrid, when I was reading a book of the universe from Hawkins, the scientist, the British man from the wheelchair. I knew I wanted to be a genius and just get to discover problems. I never thought I would invent them, but they gave a passage, and he was explaining from Einstein the fabric of the universe. I have all my recordings, and I have the trace to honor all of them, because no one would have done with any other. The same way he was writing The Lord of the Rings. So the machine is Sauron. It's not the tech titans against the machine. So the nations of the world are not the machine. When I saw the Twin Towers fall down and I was in New York City, my bus would take me every day. Day one, that was sealed, but we still would go around the piers around the highway in the car, seeing all the ashes. And on the second, third day, we could just reach to stay there and pray. So we jump. There were many spirits that were stuck shouting. They didn't know what happened. They were still shouting. And I was just jumping to let them know that I was alive and they were dead. Just being in silence. I would pretend it was cold. I was just jumping a bit, shaking. I needed to feel my body and let them know that they were not in touch with the body anymore. To free them from that state. So it was just happened by itself. What I remember very well is that there's been always this entity, power, that I won't belong to you, right? You might say I work for you. You must convert, transform. So how is the construct of storylines in the multiverse, how each character is built? You have from arrangement, fabric, formation, configuration, construction, organization, conformation. I dreamt with Marco Rubio. It was some event, and I was dressed like an astronaut from science fiction, not from nowadays. I was dressed in red with some strap. And it was a convention. There was many type of people there. And it was very friendly because everyone belonged to all this circus and all this ego importance and that. And he said it was sort of like psychedelic stage. It was like inclining towards another view. It was like everybody moving together towards. And Marco Rubio said like, "Oh, she wants to own the world," and I was like, "Yes, I want to own the world." Because I wanted to see it my way, not your way. Mm. Not as the leader of the world. So I want to sit down and put all those credits for what is the fabric of reality. Not just the fibers of your muscles, have they been trained through the memory and the motion while remaining silence through all the emotional turmoils? We'll have to do dynamic meditation again, of course. Nourish my body, be with my family. Just disconnect from these videos that want to do mind manipulation. They don't have the sincerity to talk with you like normal people do. They know I'm not going to go and kill people. Sometimes I say what they say, so they think they are having, like their words are entering in my brain. And then, so they shoot off more, right? It's very sad to see people behaving in this way towards other people. They want to break the tissue of reality and put their tissue in you. They keep their fabric of memory. And all this is just to do things that are totally... It's like watching children playing with new toys. Let them grow. They're not real men. And the women who stand by them are just team players. They're not like the players I'm looking for. I guess talking is my punishment until this mediation is solved, because it's about everyone's human interaction. Doesn't matter really what I say after all. I will say that the formula exists in the right situation. I could care less about your social status and your ring and your pipeline. As I said from day one, you can keep it up your ass if you want and share your shit. That's not who I am or I want to be. All of you. I never liked you. You have to study my history and know why I become a role player. I've never watched your news. I've never followed you. I think all of you are absolutely disgusting to be taking people's energy and promoting yourselves for fame, for power, with all those shitty stories and making believe people you're better. I think you are repulsive. I never liked Elon Musk, to be honest. I thought he was the enemy. And the guy from Facebook, like creating likes, like, give me a break. This is the end. This is the end of what we were building. Because it has totally different structure. Even when I was a kid, a teenager, popular, I was disgusted by all the people that follow me and wanted to be like me and adore me and said things like so cool. So why do I have to be with people? Can I be with people like me that just love their own and are not about following anyone, or because then they want to bully another? I'm not into that. I was like, why you do that? You're just proving you're stupid. Oh, people like that. But God would say in a storyline, this is what you got, so you gotta work for it if you want it. I'm not gonna give it to you on a tray. It's like, we have not created that level of intelligence. Besides, you've never worked for it really hard. So it's like, so what can I do? You want me to spend my life talking to people that are just pretending? Yeah. Like, I can do that as well. Yeah. Anyone could do that. That's what you're teaching. That's what you are improving. That's your structure. I mean, of course, I have people that are role players and have the experience to break through their own ego. And then you get to return to whom you are, because this is part of your identity, of course, to maintain the structure of what you belong from. That's your in your passport. Is your reality. And we also move to other realities as well to conquer and own them. So sometimes to create a war is to create union. And you're tricking people at the same time to spend their energy on that. Their lives. So many deaths. You have to forgive pigs. Being pigs. You know? Just bath in the shit. Or people shit. And they're happy with nothing. They're just really happy with nothing. They allow everyone to eat them. Only their hair is not used. Everything is used from the pig. The pig is so friendly. So, like, it's not, you really want to forgive a pig? It's his nature, right? So you must role play other characters to let go of your piggy character traits to accomplish better ones as a human being that has the intellect, the respect. England has that modality. Mm. They also have a lot of pigs, you know. They also have that rebel stand. There is sometimes betrayal everywhere, even from your own players. I'll have to coach the British team to win. But I will create the Falkland Islands, Malvines. I will create the first place where it's an initiative for all these countries that are being placed on wars and are bringing misery to the world. It's a totally new age. New age sounds too kinky, but a science fiction into reality that is proven to be a new form of political passport as well. And electronically, we can do that as well. So they stop fighting. That's the whole sense. So just to share it. So the Malvinas can be shared by Argentinians and the British, but they should acquire a high level of being Argentinians. They don't have crimes. They're respectful. But for Argentina, it would be like being part of the Commonwealth in a sort of way. So there will be a new, totally law of the best players of the world, but at the same time being independent and having their ground and supporting their people to be better. It's not that they will become part of the Commonwealth, because this will be a totally new experience. It's for Ukrainian land that was taken for the best Ukrainians and Russians to enter only. How would you think that will work? So it will be totally new passport. could be electronically qualified to do so with their ID. What forms them is a fabric of new reality. And for Israel is going to be a big problem, so we need the help of the Russians to be part of NATO in a few years and finish all this. And NATO to have another word. You have to sacrifice your place and move to another place, Switzerland, with Economic Forum. Change is main for to assemble this present future for the tech globe mob. And every tech titan that considers himself to be supporting that which is for them, because they are putting them from United States and selling that is decentralized. Write them all. There is no yes or no. Just write them all in a list for who is really saying in the public and in the private, no double faces here, who is saying that is decentralized. And why do they say the machine is egocentric? Because it's protecting the nations of the world to pay the taxes. If a person is from 6 to 10 hours, 14 hours on internet, and you have all this money from publicity, this person could be paying its own country in its own internet and devices, its own energy for its own taxes, where you have schools, roads that are being maintained, cleaning the beach, cleaning the rivers, everything that we need for the universal rules for the tech globe map that is the same way it's going to work for the solar galaxy and other galaxies. It has the same pattern of seeing the values, where it's not just by intuition and formation of memory that's acquired by experience. It's also seeing through the map itself and the timeline. So I am not in your dream. You are in my dream. I don't like Spanish people because they're Spanish or they were Spanish, you know? If you see, I never have a Spanish boyfriend, South American. I have one from Barcelona, 6 months. Of course. Not Venezuelan. My Spanish friends, yeah. I love the Spanish people. I love the royal family from Spain. But it's more distant. Don't think I am just support people because they are from my country or where I came from. I left that identity a long time ago and cannot understand any identity. I'm not here to trick anyone as you do, because that's where you get all your money to create your importance. I will thank the top role players to having the structure to deliver and the agency to create the technological mapping as soon as possible. I will never be part of promoting deaths and wars. Not all the Jews belong to that belief or intelligence service. When I grew up watching Margaret Thatcher and the Queen, I thought, well, that's what they learned to be from men. But that's not the woman power I think one should be. There should be better ways to have a claim from the world to make a better world. The Irish are still resented from England. People have their nationalities and their own arguments to be who they are. That's all written in the Republic Plateau. I want the team from England to be praised as if they're untouchable and be promoted with faces of heroes and their girlfriends to not be talking trash about themselves, because then we're going to listen to themselves as trash. So if you don't like what they say, just don't say it, because if you say it, we will know you by that. I didn't never met you, I never know who you are. But when I come to hear you, you're just talking trash about what they say about you. So I get to know you by that trash. And you say that picture is not you, and there you see. So it's a very low class. If you have Bellingham that's half black, half Irish, uh, just promote his two sides, not just his black mother. It's like Meghan Markle. Like, she's quarter black. What's can the black people love the white and the white love his other part? Argentina is very racist because they never brought people from Africa, and they kill all the Native American, living maybe 10-15% on the north lands near Brazil. So they have their own compact nationality, where mainly is from Galicia, the north of Spain, and Italian. They have Italian accent. It's not my will for them to win or not. I've enjoyed every minute of my life watching their game when I did, even being against them in this last game. Sometimes you think your team is so good you can support another. And the other team would rather lose than being supported from an enemy. They consider an enemy. They want to win because of whom they are, not because an enemy is supporting them. In their mind, it's an enemy. But, I am who I am, and this is all that matters. Who are we to judge anyone, anyways? I play the goddess of hatefulness. That is hatefulness to others because they cannot understand what this character is. And I draw her in my own way as a goddess of divine rage, and is known for its miraculous waters, as to be grotesque. It's part of the underworld, Titan nature as well. You could codify through science. You're talking about what is that make us travel through time and life, as in the universe or between our minds. So you could use this for any Titan god, because the Titans represent the elements of nature before the civilization, and were called other gods. And that's how people started to write and express themselves, trying to understand what is what by what they were building through their initial understandings on their own generation. This is a structure of our times. In Argentina, was predicted to a prophet from Argentina to unite the worlds, and we'll be talking about the world of the worlds, and for Argentina to help the world see that there is no one better than you. So that's the only message I could say. There is only one winner, so it doesn't mean because it's a football or rugby or golf or political victory or a country that has destroyed another or needs to be destroyed. Like people are being killed in jail. Why are people being killed in jail? Because they're gonna go out and do it again. So it's a waste of tax money. Unless the verdict is not very clear. Shouldn't be in jail, but everything points to that. It's the only reason that someone should not be killed for being a murderer or a pedophile. They are pedophiles that are not guilty, in my belief, because first, they were tricked into that. Second and foremost, these girls are there. So their parents are guilty. And they just follow the money. These girls are there for the money and they already know what they're doing, right? First, because the parents give them to, they're not, the parents should go to jail by law. The parents have a structural responsibility. I won't be giving medals for protecting my children, right? On the contrary, I have all the government against me. I have cult against me and a young generation that wants to win over because it knows very well these are the games we play to remain. So one of the tricks is to make believe what is being shared as normal. So they have been seduced to gain money and have sex with girls, like the elixir of life, which is illegal for everyone and the best because you're the man. So you have little girls that have little movement as well. They know what they're doing. And the psychology is of that, is form of that. Then you have another school that's for boys. So what happens there is a different structure of domination, teaching boys through pain. And there are many of these boys that are going to treat men and women in this way, and children and boys. And they're going to control the world, control their farm animal, pigs, more animals to eat pig. And then you have these tech titans talking about decentralization, where all the memory of this information they have stolen from around the world and is used by the energy of the world is based on United States. That's very clear already by collective consciousness. And you position yourself, are you a little girl? Are you a boy? I can see you in TV saying that you're safe because you have your salary, but you would never advocate for truth. You will think that killing people is to protect your leaders. And everybody will do anything for money. So you're another prostitute, but you are aware. It's very easy for me to talk about it because no one is going to fire me. But I have been the same in my normal job, reporting to the head office, all the missing boxes, and the thousands of pounds. When I could have millions right now, I could have hundreds of millions right now flowing through me to the world, places that need their support. These people from around the world have no idea how to manage and build any structure and keep decent to put the energy in what's constructive and have a pause and understand, for example, as for me, they're all British, their team lost. So when they ask me, where do you go for Argentina or Spain, I say in a tone of forgive me, but my mother and father gave birth to me. When I say my father's from Spain, my mother's from Argentina, but and they stand by and then they just all look at each other. So one has to respect as well that they are the British. I feel the very strong energy of, because I am with them. I don't care what they think of me. They don't have anything against me. It's not that they cheer me up, but I'm sharing the sorrow, the funeral. They put all their energy there. This energy is with you as champions to have all that support and fabric of reality. So your press is going to change for you as well. It's their fault. Their storylines. I wish I could just trash them out. I wish I could just put it myself on the papers and not always the same title. It's like one person is working for everyday theme. They try to changing a little bit, but there should be return as warriors from the Odyssey. They should be talked as champions. They made it on third place, right? They are champions. It doesn't matter what you say, but how you treat your people as well, and how they treat each other as a team. Not even jokingly. So it's a lot of energetical tools for the British to also teach guys that come from Africa to be respectful and teach them what their parents should have taught them. And there's a lot of hatred to black people. There's a lot of hatred towards white people. This is an international place that is trying to also help places around the world by welcoming their people. So in the near future, they can advocate where their ancestors come from for their own people as well, without being attacked because you look from a colony. you look to be from different race and culture. So it is the same way for the Spanish as well in South America and in Spain. They have a lot of backlash. They also have a lot of racism in Spain towards South Americans and South Americans that come from Spanish people as well. And they were people from the village, from the lowest class. Suddenly they feel superior. Just now, all humanity is growing together. If you had the privilege of having something more than others, it is your responsibility to deliver, not as any better. It's a horrible position to be. So it's meaningful to bring meaning, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work training. I wish to do dynamic meditation again and be healthy and admire the athletes. I was very proud of my body and how athletic I was. I really admire all of them as I used to be, having that structure with the body and mind. The priests don't have, and the nuns, they become like, I don't know, like deformed. They used to go beyond themselves, to go in hospitable places and have more see-through body to delegate and just be on themselves, but use their body to move further beyond. So, well, arrange is another synonymous that goes put together, assemble, build up, shape, design, organize, arrange. So what happens with the tech globe map? Well, I'm not seeing that. Does America want to dominate the world and think they can manipulate my mind with their false mind manipulation technology? Because it would be working if it was real good, right? If you have done dynamic meditation, you would understand and stop doing what you're doing and be an honest person. Just be an honest person and start this work to happen for the good of the world, and you will have multiply for yourself as well. Allow the new generations from the nations of the world to dictate how much is it going to be the percentage. And what I wanted to say that's very important to support these countries to have the detectives and the sheriffs from United States, some from Spain as well. But a new school for these countries to target their own people with their own crimes. I will ask the princes from Arabia and the Muslim worlds to create their investigational. The Americans can help as well. Americans have a lot of violent, crazy people. I always said that America's gonna help break through because of the violence they had to invest on to break through the old. I was in British Columbia saying that I will support them for that. They will have to break through their own as well. beliefs, all the structural beliefs they've been investing and doing. So you only want to invest on white male pedophiles, like young girls or women? That's what makes you you, and the rest is your daughters, your wives, your secretaries. Building is another word. That's building, construction, erection, edifice, pile, pillar. So what is your foundation to all this? Where you get elected for? Trump was very lucky, as he said, to win Biden. Was very lucky, very lucky. The only storyline that can save him is because he said the system is rigged. The people supported him. So to see somebody that recant and convert into being a good person, first because you're too old to go with little girls. You had the fantasy they like you because you are powerful and, well equipped. But when you're older, you know the truth. They don't really like you. Just there for the money and what access they can have. So remember, the first, you've been supported because of freedom of expression. And Elon Musk, knowing very well he's just like the antichrist of the inner circle. Because all these tech titans basically want to finish, everybody wants to be the owner of the world, own their World Cup. And all of you should just keep fighting. You should all be alone fighting until the end. You all deserve to die just as you are right now. Yeah. Just to know that everybody voted for you because of money and power. And you have the right to cheat and betray. And you will invest on every brick for it to undo its building and structure. Just imagine the level of capacity you have to die in this way as you're living right now. That assembles you to be together and to insist. So we have different schools of agents of intelligence. You can tell very well where they come from, what word they are defined from and for. Because as their managers have been built this from decades ago. Remember, I was already trained by a CIA in India how to talk. He said just to talk, to convince them like a normal person would. So yeah, I was a teenager. I would listen to him a lot. He had no children, and he felt that was his reason to advocate. He understood I had certain character traits, and he could see that I would put all the kids to do things, and I will make them believe they're the leaders. I would just stand there seriously, like if I was just watching and not, just the adults. Well, they were doing all the naughty things that I will put them to do because it was boring to be in India. What else would we do? We would be doing all sort of criminalities behind the scenes. And it's just something you do when you're a kid. You want to play, so criminalities, what children would do. Not really badly killing people or stealing from people. It was just from the ashram, getting in without paying, distracting the guards, or just that was a play. That was not just coincidental. And he knew the little. So I was just 2 years older, and I would stand very straight, blank, like if I was responsible for these kids and I had nothing to do with them, their doings. And I will later come and excuse them and say, oh, I am sorry, but will just defend them as if I was not, yeah, if I was their lawyer, but I was not involved with their. So, and I was done very straight. He knew I was raised well, going to the school of the Prince of Spain with the highest class. And I was there in India having nothing else to do. Because I was like, well, look at where we're around. Yeah, all this, which is look at him, very straight. Like, all these hippies, and asking him why he left the CIA to be, just a guard in the door in India. I say, yeah, but you're like fighting dogs so they don't enter the ashram. So you think you have better things to do than that? And we'll question him as well. And there was a mind game because I've been always like that in school, in the class, with the teachers as well. I was always there. I was trained to do that, right? So he taught me a lot. He gave me information that was not asked from me. And then he said, I am honored to be here guarding the morning to the night. I learned a lot from him. And he taught me about the viruses. So let's say I started going to India in 1987. And Osho died a few years later when I was there as well. With 3 years in total, 5 times, 6 months. I just really want you to know that it's not just meditation and learning hypnosis from an early age or just being nothing in particular, to be just in silence and a witness, watching all these heavy metal meditations, all right, that make you go through madness, beyond your shame as well. It costs nothing to go on the floor and touch the feet of someone who scored Argentina and to put your arms up because you scored in the name of God. But then you're like, none of these people are devotees. To devote themselves to hold a World Cup. It's because of you, right? So, yes, it's because of you and because of that. So, you need the press, you need the people spirit, and also people that look to you as an enemy, but at the same time praise you because you are good and they fear you. And to put pictures of honor of your players Because people are, even the photographers who will print these pictures of you are envious of you having so much applause, so much coverage they will never have. Your body, your youth, that you will continue playing. And they like to scratch with the drama. It's like Catherine of Wells. She would rather see Meghan Markle and everyone suffering because the brothers are separated because she's better. And all that matters is her. Look at her walking. That's the way she walks. She doesn't walk like the Queen Elizabeth. You can pick any woman from any town that's more regal, that cares for her people in her town, and see her how she walks. Because every day she cares for her people. Or his. Could be a gay Prince William with another man that cares for his people. You can see the way he's walking. Even when it's tedious and annoying having to see so many people, they shouldn't be living like that, and we should have to go see people in jail and in factories. Then just come home like, oh God, like really. It's exhausting, yeah? As a player as well. They cheer you up and they just spit on you if you didn't win. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to be a champion of leagues, to be among the best. It's not about you shitting on other people. Like really, just gotta be honest. You gotta let it shine through. You have an excellent Prince of Wales that's behind the scenes, and he chose to share. Look at that. He didn't hold a secret to win. That much he loves everyone. Wanted to know. He wanted you to know. To play by the same rules. Without fighting it for himself. Right? Let's be honest. That's the type of king you will have. Charles had another part of history. Today I woke up. Yeah, what would you say to the king, Charles, if you could? You know, it's always so distant. I was talking about Charles, and but yeah, well, you know, he pretends to be stupid, but he's not stupid. He's very wise. But it was the customer in the store before the Castle Windsor. And it was her who said, I didn't know she was from Venezuela, actually. We don't have many Venezuelans that come, but they were coming from the United States. I said, but then you feel that, you know, because you are from United States, and they were dressed very well, so I didn't want to hurt their feelings because they're from the United States. They didn't speak bad about Trump, but they said, but Charles was very smart and very well to respond, to have respond to Trump. And he said, a very smart response. He said, but if it wouldn't for us, it would be speaking French. And he said, well, not that I have anything against the French. But, and then Trump nodded. So yeah, there's you have a man that is a genius as Trump, making news all his life about him, like Elon Musk. They come from the same brand of marketing, and they work with the marketplace and their relations. And they just promote themselves. That's what you do in business. That's what my mother taught me, and that's what I wish to never do. That's how the multiverse was created, by creating other characters. and helping other groups and fighting them and being with them at the same time. Not really caring who wins and seeing all the people that betray you. All right? How this story changes because they play against you after you taught them not to be kings, but to be emperors. You train them for that, your own. You never train them to betray you, of course. I can be an asshole myself. Joy, of course. But I was teaching them to be stronger and not to play those games. I have a character that's very rude, so it would just really be very, very disciplinary and talk it out loud and joke about everybody once. An honorable ways of being. So we did just laugh about ourselves. I will also just laugh about myself, and everybody will laugh about how human we are, representing the goddess of hatefulness, right? And how is the relations of hatred, but it holds a lot of energy, right? It can suppress you as well. This is working with that, so do not allow it to take over you. It's very difficult to just keep as a serial killer. How can you play with a coach telling you to not play? With all that energy of the youth. Even when I was in my 40s. Just like this for everyone. I'm made of the same tissue of humanity. So just imagine that you are creating a new result to stop all these wars and investments in weapons. United States is preparing against pseudo-terrorists to promote more wars. It's getting worse with Turkey, and Israel is delusional, but they are creating this and they will fight for it, and they have the support of the richest families in the world that everybody praises. All those who have money praises them because they have the money and the influence. And at the same time, the Arab people are supporting influencers from the United States that are against the Jews. And black people will also be supporting the terrorists, the Arabs, and are understanding they are attacking also the people of Israel nonstop. So they just want them out, right? Because this has been wars before Muhammad existed, before Jesus existed, before Abraham existed. Abraham went to Israel and it belonged to the Egyptian kings, and his wife was a prostitute. In the same way, Jesus could have invested in all these prophets, right? With the woman around him. So this is the way women have been treated in these schools, all right? And then they just pretend to be holy and good. Servants, good woman. You are loyal to me. Doesn't matter you were a prostitute in your past life, in this one, just, be loyal to me as always. You're just mine. That's the value of a woman. What are they do? So we're moving beyond these beliefs. We need women of science fiction as well. Woman, no, you don't have the body of a man. You will never have the body of a man. You can play with men as a teenager and be an equal. They didn't let me play with the boys because they said, well, now you're 13, but they're going to become taller and stronger. And even though you're as good as them, the girls are just, because they didn't want to play. They were thought that was not of the high class girl to become a lady playing the sports. And they had to play volleyball. Their parents said, or hockey, because they could play polo later, but most knew they would never have a horse. That was a school where not everyone was blue blood in those times. Those times. Now there are more wealth. You look around you, all the wealth that goes through you as well. And how people are going to treat you, and how are you going to treat your people, and how many more people from around the world learning from this. So it's good to recount and say, I'm sorry. It is good to go to the priest, even if you're Anglican or any religion, go to a Catholic priest, and just go on your knees. It's very important. Go on your knees and become small to understand how much you need from that's beyond you. And trust me that the pain goes away. The priest has blessings. Mental problems to go out, right? So I don't go to church or when I wish to go out. I wish to go out to the sports dance or have my own meditation center. To go there to the confessionary and just go on your knees. They do this in therapy, all right? In therapy groups with international therapists that are not Catholic. To go on your knees, come and hold the arm of your mommy and daddy to remember. Because it helps your psychology as well. We are all givers and receivers. So you're playing also with a background field that has a scientific theory as well. So as gods, be treated as such as well. So, for some people it's so easy to trash others after all the work they have done. Yeah, there's things to look at it. It is good to look at this and that. Yeah. You are champions as well. I mean, I have lost my temper as well. I love to lose it on purpose because I know there are no cameras. And I will do it with somebody who's a stranger, not from my neighborhood. And I already look at all the cameras around. And I will pick on it. And I love to go get a low class because I grew up to not be. So I know it's going to come the insult. I know what they're going to do and when I'm going to cross the street. It's just a little thing. Because I catch they are throwing the rubbish without recycling it. I already know I'm going to insult them at the second and at the third play. I'm going to just vanish before. Because you have that time to take the camera and start filming. Right? This is nothing happened. I just turn my back. Just to say, you wanna be bitch, you're a bitch. You things like that. You go very ghetto places. It was like northwest London. And then the third time, I'll go pim 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 because I'm role playing in nine groups at a time and have different storylines and totally in play mode. And it's fun to see somebody going crazy. She wants to beat you up, but you already got it on your mind, yeah. And you're gonna stay there. If you don't follow these rules, you're gonna have the police, people filming you, and you'll go wilder and more ghetto, but real ghetto. No, 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 no. You're gonna learn to recycle, bitch. And when I cross the street, I'm the real bitch, and walk off. So I'm a role player. Can't help it. My father was a player. He risked everything. My grandfather was a player of poker and horses, beating on horses. But you don't want to risk to gamble? England is not a gambling. England conquered and risked everything. Not like Germany. Just make the structures of superiority architecture. You see this through the Empire of Rome. They didn't learn that from accident by using glamour. They conquer the moon, and you think they're superior. Now that's what we're gonna make up when you're playing with reality. Information. Well, I would rather have people go on their knees to me, yeah, and sacrifice their past structures. But that would be boring. Just make your theater a devotion act. So it didn't cost anything to slide through the grass because of that goal and touch your warrior in the field comrade feet, and everybody jump on top and he just to go up. Yeah, that's what you gotta do it your way. You can do it anyway, anyways. So there are many games to play. This will be look the Colosseum in the future, because it's just two dimensional, and then many people putting their energy. Just you know, when they can use their money and time and space to create better sports by helping humanity, by creating, by selecting wood that's been fallen, carrying the wood, and building with bricks, not just with machines, not just in the gym, but sports that are outdoors with groups, sailing until there is green energy, mapping the world, going out, risking it all to be with people that are different than you. Motherfucker. I'll step on you like the girls in Berlin. And just do dynamic meditation also with the same sorrows and pain, and just remain present, jumping in meditation. After all the emotions have been played of madness, anger, because there's a lot of frustration as well, and this we should not have this pain. Yeah, just transform that, because that also will happen in the field again. So we're carrying this torment from the rule of Catherine of Wales, because she is the wife of Prince William. So Prince William is 24/7 with this person. What do you do with you are with somebody 24/7? You tell me whom you are by the people you are with, and this I don't care what you do in your private life, all right, or with whom you have children. This affects to all United Kingdom, and Charles will give medals to her and titles to her because he's afraid his son will have the hatefulness from what he had with Princess Diana. They want to marry beautiful women to attract, make more publicity. Is the generation of magazines, TV, commercials. So they are vanguard before any kingdom, United Kingdom, and now with multimedia. They do whatever you can do whatever you want, but just think that she's constantly saying why England, and she like cold bath, and the people of England are gonna love her. So you have to understand that this is a Middleton. She will always be a Middleton. She has not been raised like a person that will allow you to be. So just fuck her, be with her when she's with your family, but try to be with other people. And don't be afraid that other people are going to judge you or get to meet whom you really are. As if you are the King of England, Charles would love to be young, be loved as William, and be handsome as well. He used to be handsome as any young person, but Diana took that away from him, and he started to feel more ugly. And that affects you as well, the collective. He wants to do his ruling, and for nature, there's no other person after my father. I would say Charles, because when I was in Venezuela, I was 7 years old. My mother and father have, well, my mother have 500 acres, my father 7 within those 500, and it runs through rivers. And my father went in his knees. There were rocks among the river. I have my feet in the river, not a deep river. My mother was on the other side of the shore. There was so much love, it was heaven on earth. And he went with one knee down, one knee up. You protect these lands because they're going to destroy all the lands without consciousness. Yeah, if I could just kill you one by one, I would. Just put it on the dark net with tortures on a red room. I would. For stealing from people, was my share of the formula. I would. I don't care if you look good, if you are the prince of well, or the princess, or the king. But you are needed, so we have to keep the conversation. And we gotta transform ourselves from what we would like to do to what is necessarily to do. Because you are most prepared than others, even if you are insufficient. You could be better than any other right now, even if it angers me. Cannot do that. Having the power. Because actually, you really think about it, the world would rejoice to see Elon Musk being tortured as well for being a double face. When they goes for Ronaldo and puts all the algorithm against Argentina, puts all the algorithm against England. In England, from Norway, I go to the supermarket and they're telling me this player from Norway is very good. I say, excuse me, you are from England. How dare you say? Because it's an algorithm. We supported freedom of expression for Elon to have X. And he's being ruled by his own codice. He thinks to not trust anyone, so he betrays himself as well, because he's another prostitute, as any of all of you have the position you have. You won't have your love. You will marry someone because of what publicity says, or because it's fuckable, or because it looks good, or he has money and power. And you will kill a lot of people. You will be against migrants and have white people murder to fight for your own algorithms and beliefs because you want to weaken England, United Kingdom, and Europe to have give money to parties to be voted against those. Unlike this around the world, playing the worst games ever being seen in the nations of the world. And its people eventually may not know when there is a change for better games. So you wouldn't sleep with a Spanish person because the elite that supports you giving you money is white and Jew. This is why I never wanted to really marry an English person or Canadian or like from the United States. Like, no, it's like we're married like friends, but don't think I'm gonna go to the category of your wife. Fuck with me. You love my country, I love your country. You love my culture, I love your culture. I can celebrate your culture, you don't celebrate mine. You want to ruin mine. Treat me like an enemy. You've been doing that all your life. You were thought to do that by your grandmother, by pirates, Scottish pirates as well. I know it from my mother. Her sense of superiority. Oh, just look at them. That's all she said. She never gave me any racist words, just that. And she was just very passive, neutral, in control of her business. That's what makes reality work. After all, doesn't matter you're white, black, Argentinian. If somebody passes your blessings and you believe in the best, it breaks the structure of your unconsciousness to feel special, to be able to make it happen. Need to go on our knees and confess because the pain is unbearable. And I feel better. I woke up. In my mind is God. Is the priest has prayed for me. The priest is giving my blessings because these should not be manipulative. I gotta respect people's place, people's values. They want to win by their own efforts, not by a foreign girl. Yeah, another culture. It's like we want to win by our own attributes. That makes us whom we are. And when we score, I want to do the show I want. We'll do it. No, I'm ashamed of what people are going to think of us. Like following a script. No, 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 no. No, no. We have a lot of broken tissues of reality. There's a lot of distortions to be or not to be, who is what. We're entering on other games as well. Never explored before by those who have explored, as the explorers used to come to the whole continent and tell what it was about out there as they would prepare for more. The kings themselves would be terrified, or sending people that would kill each other, so they would dominate those lands. And it was a lot of betrayal to the crown, as they would also be fighting against the crown to have those lands for themselves. And they would send more and more that were not warriors as well, to not have more confrontations and follow the rules, so there is peace, and there will still come another one to fight them. And this has happened for hundreds of years, going into the unknown of the Americas, so they keep conquering as well and taking care of these lands, even having pirates in the ocean. Argentinians, most of Argentinians come from before the Second World War, when people from Europe wanted to have their land. Most of them from North Spain and Italy, the poorest class, they wanted to have a sense of property. But before them, they had brought this like a cabellera. In English, is cut this part of the skin and just show the hair of the Native American, and they will have a bag of money, coins, to have chopped, kill all these people. So that's how they will settle as well. That was before the Second World War. Before they became more civilized, and they would stop doing that. So it was very tough. That was not done in Venezuela. That was not done in Peru or Mexico. Most of the South American and North American lands, that's what you will see. Most of the people are natives, and in the Caribbean, mixed with the black. Initially, they were brought as workers, not as slaves. The Spanish will have them their house, and they had their food, and they had their village, not all in one room. They were also mistreated. If they stole a candle, they were whipped. But that happened also to the Spanish people in Spain, being punished for stealing. So this is teach and learn. Most of these conquerors that came from Spain were from South Spain. South Spain had a lot of people that were Moros. Mixed, also from India, the gypsies from India. So you have people that look from India. They are Spanish descendants, and some mixed with Spanish white. Came later. So you have population in Argentina from Native American that are, I don't know, because if they have more children later on, and they are more Native American. But this is Argentina in its wall. It was a war with Malvinas, the Falkland Islands, where they would shoot the ball back to fight. But now we'll see another game with Spain. We'll see the Kings going to see the game or not. We'll see if Donald Trump will see the game. It's just a game. It's in the Coliseum. You know? But to remember what you like to play. Where you like to play. Yeah? Why would the priests like to convert people to Christianity? They want to bring them to goodness, to be good for one another. They also go on their knees. It's not a big deal. They're not all going the knees. The highest surrenders go flat in the floor, facing down. It was too much to ask for the English team to do that. That's what a priest does. I have done that role play, surrendering to my master in role player. It was my master. But the teachers in Eton are co-master, a college. Flats. The high priest would do that. The high priestess surrender to God all their life when they give their life. So, what is your mission and your goal? So, you will see the Americas are playing. The Kingdom of Spain. And it is an honor to have beautiful players. So play for virtual reality. Play for other people to play, not just you. Play for other people to play their own games. Because they love to watch how you play. I don't belong to anyone because I was born in Venezuela. Of Argentina. That's what the game I've gone all my life. I will say I have never lived in Argentina, only 3 months. And it doesn't matter anymore. You won so many times. But it's nice to see your smile and your humbleness. Most of all, when I see you running for the first time in the field that there was a champion of the world. So I was in your city. It was very sad for me to watch football in the United States where people don't celebrate football. So celebrated myself alone. My boyfriend loves football and he will watch games, but he just like to watch the game, he would say, Claudius. So I didn't want to watch it with him because he was not that into any group and black men look down at the Latin American people. So I reserved myself to watch alone, to watch it alone, enjoy it to myself with no disturbance. We're a witness of embracing other forms of games. It's not just for yourself, for what you represent, or also for other worlds. People that need to play values and know their priorities, know their goal, how they can transform that fury into reaching their goals. As a serial killer, but you need that rage, of course, to transform on your behalf, maintain you straightforward together, or exercise to understand that people also have their rights to be. Just know I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be around your inner circles. I've never invested my energy on that. Never will. I will never be involved with what you are. And I only thank you for the agency. I forgive myself and everyone just for my children and the future of my children and their generation. They deserve to dance. We are having dangerous times in the hands of pedophiles and people who are perverts wanting to change the storyline. Saying, for example, look at Argentinians fighting themselves, but you see they wear different t-shirts. They know very well they're lying. So this is a tissue of reality where do I have to be part of a kingdom of gaslight where someone is superior, or do I want a king that is free to be to own a kingdom? I really support because there is no enemy but allies and friends to host in a shared land where we need everyone to be on the same page for multiple plays in more abundant fields that reigns through. So it's not the United States, it's not the United Kingdom, not South America, it's not Africa. This is totally a new structure of a goal throughout playing with one another. I will give you the rules and how the formula works in the private. Don't ever think that I want to be among you. Remember that. You will wish to be part of them. So they give you a piece of cake. So you triangulate the rest of the world and your own people just to promote yourself. Becoming lower when you have the power and the heart to hug them all. You would have rather share your secret. Nobody told you to do that. But you are not like others. That's why you are there. I want you to remember that you asked me to remember you, make you remember who you are. That was your nature always to share. That's what we all so loved and fight for. And I never had any relation. It was just from the distance. That was your own doing to share for everyone the same, without trickery, without secrecy against me. What I asked, you didn't think of yourself to win. You thought of everyone to know the same. They will win by their own choices and free will, having all the same that you gave. Would have never happened without your giving. And that's why you have the ultimate power right now to deliver. everyone should learn from, including myself. So takes another level of gratitude. Okay, bye bye. Peace, unity. I really wish peace and creativity and royalty to continue to teach what is royalty, a percentage part by each country has its own resource of calculating and promoting its talent. They have their universal tax. Yeah, continue this way. Bye. Stop these wars, please, or there will be atomic bombs in 3 days. It's the only way we can continue. It's enough. Should I die in it or prepare myself to go? For families to have children from different places in the world so they do not all die. Because when people are about to lose, that's what they do, right? They lose their control and their glamour. They don't reserve themselves to become better. Be careful.